Matt Walsh says,
Yay!
there has been a giant psyop conducted for years to convince white people that they aren't native to their own homeland. White South Africans have been there for 15 generations, and yet somehow they still don't count as native. White people have been in the Americas for 500 years, and yet we aren't allowed to call this our native land. It doesn't matter if your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather built a cabin on the land with his own hands. Whose land was it when he built the cabin, Matt? It still isn't your land. It's totally incoherent, but most white people accept this framing. So emotions aside, feelings aside about whether or not white people should call themselves native or call this our native land, like feelings, like how we feel about that aside, do you know what line is in the Canadian national anthem? It's the first two lines. "O Canada, our home and native land."
So it's almost like white people have been calling this their native land for years.
Every single Canadian in public school, regardless of skin color, race, racial identity, however you want to look at it, sings in the morning, "O Canada, our home and native land." And that's not like a reference to the Native Americans that were here first. That is, if I was being cynical, I would say that is explicitly meant to usurp that language for white Canadians to say that it is our native land. So, like, I'm not saying that it should say that. However, it does say that. Literally every Canadian school child calls Canada their native land every day at school.
So this is one of those things where there is nothing that is being said that is technically true. It is nothing. There's nothing in that statement that is technically real. But by saying the statement, you manufacture the idea in people's heads that there is something wrong that needs to be addressed, even if there's nothing there to be addressed in the first place.
Yeah. Also,
cool.
I'm not sure if I pulled this out. Yeah, I did. So second tweet with regards to this, as I pointed out many times, the concept of native is so confused in our culture that if I call myself a native Marylander or native of Baltimore, nobody bats an eye. But if I call myself a Native American, it's a problem. So I can be native to my state and city, but not my country. How does that work exactly? This is just him pretending to be dumbfounded when something that is super easy to understand. It's because the term Native American means a specific thing. Like, it's like there is a people group that refers to that you are not a part of. Like, you can say you were born in America, you are native to America, but that doesn't mean you are a Native American, because that means a different thing. And it's like the only other words that have been developed so far to describe Native American people are generally ones that are like they have a history of being used as a slur, or they refer to people of other countries that have nothing to do with America, which, to be clear, a lot of Native Americans are actually okay being called Indians. A lot of them call themselves Indians. It's one of those things where that's been the norm for so long by now. So I'm not saying that that's impossible, but what I am saying is that there are some that are not comfortable with that. So we just use the term Native American because they were here first.
Use the term that the person asks you to use for them, and you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Usually what works best.
Well, unless Matt Walsh asks you to call him a Native American.
If he wants me to call him a Native American, then I'm fine calling him that without it having any meaning whatsoever. I can just literally go, yeah, you are native to America. Why does this matter to you? Why do you need this pedestal so badly?
Yeah. Jassa says, I hate the term American Indian as a native people because Americans of Indian descent exist. Yeah, that's a good point. Wet mulch is whiter than white bread and twice as bland. Matt Walsh, wet mulch. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've assumed you meant bland. But yeah. No, he's just doing that thing where he does a thing that everybody is already fine. Like, Like everybody's fine with like not calling white people Native Americans. Very few people complain about that. It's only Matt Walsh and his ilk. So he's just doing that thing where he's pretending like it's actually a big deal when it's not. It's only a big deal if you make it a big deal. But also, like, yeah, to take it back to like, oh, your great whatever grandfather built a cabin on this land with his own hands. It's like, yeah, but it wasn't his land. There were people there first.
Also, there are very few people. There are very few sane people right now who like wake up in the morning and say we need to evict Matt Walsh from where he lives because he's white. Like that just doesn't fucking happen. But he's arguing against that boogeyman.
But like there are reparations that need to be made to the Native American population. But it's not feasible at this point to say white people go back to Europe. Like that's never going to be something that can just happen. But also like the way he's saying it, like if I find Matt Walsh's house and I build a cabin in his backyard, would he be okay with me living in that cabin and calling that my property?
He would say something, I bought this, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. What does that matter?
It doesn't. It doesn't, because we technically did similar things with the land here when we took it over violently.
In some cases, yeah. But in most cases, it was just like white people showed up and planted a flag and said, this is mine now.
To be fair, we're really good at that. We're really good at planting a flag somewhere, just saying, mine now.
Mm-hmm. It's called colonialism. And if Matt would actually like listen to the meetings that he infiltrates for his movies, he might actually learn something about that.
Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I really could not do any of this without all of you. Those of you watching, and especially those of you who support me on Patreon. I wanted to go ahead and take a minute to thank all of you who do that, because with YouTube being what it is these days, I really cannot do this full time without the support from each and every one of you. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Tales of Atonement, Nixie Chan, Kiri Artemis, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that, Leela Ururaka, Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fireshard. Thank you so very much. But since you're here, why not go ahead and try watching another one? There should be one that's on the screen right now. And if you are a patron of mine, I wanted to go ahead and thank you again for all of your support. There is still a video you could press though, if you'd like. I would appreciate it just a little bit.